Imagine this. The world around you collapses in an instant, concrete and steel raining down with a deafening roar, dust filling every inch of air as darkness swallows everything, and the faint cries of people echoing from somewhere above and around, almost too far to hear. For 9 days, he was trapped inside a mall that once buzzed with laughter, music, and life, now reduced to a cold, suffocating tomb. The first moments were pure chaos. The air thick with smoke and debris, alarms blaring somewhere in the distance, sirens drowned beneath the crushing weight of fallen beams. His first instinct was panic, but movement was impossible. The hallways he had walked through just hours ago were now unrecognizable, twisted into labyrinths of fallen glass, shattered metal, and precarious rubble. Every breath burned his lungs. Every heartbeat reminded him of the thin line between life and death. At first he screamed, desperate for anyone to hear, but the walls swallowed his voice, leaving only the terrifying silence that surrounds true isolation. Fear became a tangible presence pressing down on him, but then slowly, a spark of determination flickered. He remembered stories of survival, of humans defying impossible odds. That spark became a lifeline. He began to explore the small pockets of space he could reach, moving debris carefully, listening intently for any sound from the outside world. Every distant shout or rumble, a surge of hope. The first night stretched endlessly, darkness pressing from all sides, yet he spoke to himself, whispering words like, "You will get out. You will survive. Just hold on." By the second day, his body was aching, muscles stiff from being pinned in unnatural positions, dehydration gnawing at him, hunger a constant companion. Yet his mind sharpened, hyper-aware, every decision a matter of life or death. He tracked the airflow, finding tiny pockets of breathable space, and rationed every sip of water he could gather from condensation or leaking pipes. By the third day, exhaustion threatened to overwhelm him, but he reminded himself that giving up was not an option. He created routines, small mental rituals to preserve sanity, tapping the walls in patterns, counting breaths, visualizing freedom. These rituals became the thread holding him to life. Each day became a test of human will, moving debris just enough to avoid collapse, shifting to cooler pockets of air, listening for faint sounds of rescue. And while he fought the physical pain, the mental battle raged on. Terror, hopelessness, and the claustrophobic nightmare that could easily shatter his mind. Yet through every pulse of fear, he nurtured a flicker of hope, imagining the moment he would see sunlight again, hear voices calling his name, feel the solid ground beneath his feet. These first 4 or 5 days became a battle not just for survival, but for sanity itself. In complete darkness, with crushing weight above and isolation pressing from every direction, he learned to turn fear into focus, pain into strategy, and hopelessness into unrelenting determination. This is not just a story of endurance, but of the human spirit pushed to its absolute limit. Every heartbeat a defiance against death itself. Every breath a victory in the darkest hours of human existence. And this is only the beginning of the journey that would carry him through 9 days trapped under tons of concrete, darkness, and despair. A story that will grip your mind and refuse to let go. By the time the rescuers finally reached him, 9 days had passed, each one a relentless test of endurance, fear, and sheer willpower. Yet every step toward freedom became a battle against exhaustion, dehydration, and the ever-present danger of shifting rubble. When a faint light from flashlights pierced the debris, hope surged through him in a way he could hardly describe. And he called out with a voice cracked and raw from days of silence, finally met by the reassuring shouts of those who had come to save him. The rescuers worked methodically, carefully moving beams, lifting concrete slabs, and guiding him toward an opening that seemed impossibly far away just moments before. Each movement was calculated. Every decision a fight against the collapse that still threatened to shift and crush him. And when he finally saw the sky again, sunlight burning his eyes, the feeling of air filling his lungs was almost overwhelming, a sensation that had become foreign after days in total darkness. Paramedics immediately tended to him, providing fluids, oxygen, and the first proper nourishment he had had in over a week while he collapsed into blankets, shivering from a mixture of relief, adrenaline, and disbelief. The physical toll was immense. Bruises, cuts, dehydration, malnourishment, and muscles strained from days pinned in unnatural positions. Yet the mental endurance had been even greater. The isolation, crushing fear, and uncertainty had pushed him to the edge, testing his sanity as much as his body. And throughout, he had survived by a delicate balance of hope, strategy, and sheer determination, whispering to himself to stay alive, rationing every drop of water, using each scrap of food, and navigating the darkness with a focus that defied logic. His story quickly captured the world's attention, a reminder of the astonishing resilience of the human mind and body under extreme conditions. Psychologists studying his experience highlighted how critical his mental preparation, visualization of rescue, and controlled focus had been, often as important as the small physical resources he found to survive. And for everyone witnessing his ordeal, the lessons extend far beyond the collapsed mall. Even in moments of utter isolation, when the world seems unaware and the odds are impossible, the human spirit can endure, persevere, and triumph. As he stepped fully into the open air, seeing the faces of rescuers and loved ones, he felt the weight of 9 days lift from his body, replaced by overwhelming gratitude for life itself and a renewed appreciation for every breath. The mall, once a bustling center of everyday life, had become a silent monument to survival, darkness, and human resilience. And though the memory of those 9 days under concrete remains vivid, it stands as a testament to what can be achieved when determination, hope, and focus meet the most extreme circumstances. A story that haunts, inspires, and reminds us all that even in the darkest, most desperate situations, survival is possible, one breath, one decision, and one heartbeat at a time.